All right, family, we made it to day 6. It's so crazy. So I did get some messages, so I'm gonna honor them. We just finished day 5. And we got a 3-card spread. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. Let's do our 3 breaths to come into space together. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time, last time, collective together. All the way to our sit bones, sitting up, shoulders back, dropping them, out through the mouth, dropping the jaw. Beautiful. Invoking any and all protections available to us for these sessions, knowing we are always protected, ensuring that if there's any energy work you need to do for yourself, to do that, if that resonates for you. Energy work could also include prayer. Right? The intention is for our highest good here, that everyone receives what it is they're here to receive, for their highest good, to serve on their highest organic timeline. Just giving so much thanks for being on this journey with you all. All right, so let's get to the messages, right? So let's see what day 6 has for us. Every life experience, no matter how tragic, contains a hidden lesson. That's the first message. When we discover and acknowledge the gift that is there, a healing takes place. So in owning and anchoring our sovereignty, our inner sovereignty, right, on this journey, it behooves us, I don't know why that word keeps coming through, it serves us to understand and come and be ready to come into this understanding that every life experience, no matter how tragic, has a hidden lesson. And this also is going to rub up against any victim consciousness that is lurking in your field. Because if, you're not ready to let go of a certain experience or acknowledge it has a hidden lesson, that just means there's more healing there. There's nothing wrong with that, beloved. But it also, until that's healed, until that's moved, until you've worked through whatever layers that needs to work through in your mental body, your emotional body, your physical body, your spiritual body, where all of that stuff may have different places that trauma, those tragic things may have affected you. You're going to get to a point when you get there, right? When we're in our inner sovereignty here, where all of those things, you're able to own what the hidden lesson was, the gift was, and why that was. And sometimes it's not like literal. It can be symbolic, right? It can be as simple as, I truly believed deep down that I was unworthy. And so all of these experiences started happening that reflected that unworthiness to me because of how the energy of the universe works. Like whatever we believe, whatever's going on in our fields is always going to get reflected back to us. I believed that my power lied externally. So all of these beliefs and this understandings are going to get reflect to you how your power is outside of you and you don't have control of it. Just to give you super simplified understandings of what I'm saying energetically. That feels complete. So just honor where you are. Okay, let's take a deep breath. I feel like for someone that was like a sucker punch to the gut or like their heart space. Like, I love you. That was not the intention. It just shows you where you are, and that's okay. That's why we're together. But what I'm also here to do is to hold you in your divinity, to hold you in your sovereignty, to hold you in your power. And it does not help you for me to also agree that you were a victim or are a victim on some level, because I know you are not. And I love you. So just hold yourself. I'm holding you here, and give yourself grace. Breathe. Okay, it's interesting because they're telling me to go to the next card because this is all related, whatever we're working through right now together. So the next layer of this is anger, right? So some of you might be feeling rage or anger as a response to some of the things I'm saying. And if not, it might be latent anger. So anger, some of us were taught that we weren't allowed to be angry. So it might still be underneath there, okay? I'm definitely getting a lot of stomach, solar plexus area right today. That's also a place where we hold our personal power, or one of the places. I mean, there's so many places where all parts of us hold our personal power, but that's there's a center there. So anger is binding, not freeing. It connects us to another person and holds them in our life pattern. Oh, take this in. I'm going to slow down a little because I'm feeling that we're working through really intense, heavy energies that are ready to be broken up, transmuted, and returned back to you in the form of your true power. We are stuck in the negative pattern until we let go of the energy of anger and its little payoffs of righteous indignation, feeling wronged, and the desire for revenge. Relinquishing anger brings us many benefits. Can you read that again to yourself? So we're getting to the heart of victim consciousness today, which is interesting because I feel like we've been working towards it the past couple of days. And so it's really obvious, like victimizer consciousness, that's wrong, right? Like oppression is obviously wrong. People who are lording over other people authority wise. But when we zoom out, right, and this is all these archetypes, all these ways of understanding power and lording power over people and stuff like that, that only exists at the level of victim consciousness. That doesn't exist at the level of Christ consciousness, sovereignty consciousness, sovereign inner sovereign consciousness, God consciousness, okay? And so what's coming through to share is that one of the ways we hold on to being a victim is this self-righteousness that came through in this card, right? That feels like we have a little bit of control. Like, look what that person did to me. Look how they victimized me. Look how they oppressed me. Insert blah, blah, blah. But what we don't see is that in order to receive that little payoff, in order to feel that self-righteousness, we have to accept on some level that we have been victimized. We have to accept on some level being stuck in a lower energetic pattern, tying us to that other entity, energy, institution, whatever it is, okay? And this is something I explore in my poetry work a lot. My first 2 books, this is a big theme that's come out. And so if you're interested in that, you can read my first book. And then my second book is coming out shortly. And that also further explores it energetically and the emotions of it, and how we self-identified with it, and how it also became normalized in the society versions, old world society versions that were fed to us, that are not of the natural world, that are not of the divine paradigm, that are not of God, like pure source, unconditional love, paradigm systems. Yeah. And so relinquishing this, like not needing that self-righteousness, not needing the feeling wronged and holding on to that identity or whatever that payoff is for you, will get you out of victim consciousness and free you of this perceived like being lorded over. That's coming through like that. I don't know why, but that's how it's being said. So that's the next layer of this message, okay, that came through. And then the third layer is repressed and suppressed feelings require counter energy to keep them submerged. It takes energy to hold down our feelings. As these feelings are relinquished, the energy that had been holding down the negativity is now freed for constructive uses. There is an increase in available energy for creativity, growth, work, and interpersonal relationships. Yeah, so like, I'm just gonna hold this up so you guys can read it too. I know some folks are visual learners. So that's the third layer of this, right? It's like these tragic lessons, these tragic experiences at the institutional level, the collective level, relationship level, ourselves to ourselves level, right? The harm we've caused ourselves, right? And then the anger that's underneath that, right? And how it binds us to these energies, these identities. These identities are used to feed energies that we don't want to be feeding, right? Like, I'm going to mention, like, there are other forces because that's the truth, but I don't need to, this is not the place that we need to go into them. Like, there are other places and teachers and resources I can provide you if that's what you're feeling called to learn. Here, I'm only giving us what we need, channeling what we need to anchor our inner sovereignty and continue moving forward in the container that this is the scope of this container. Okay? So the anger is underneath, right? That victim consciousness, right? And then that anger at that experience, at that perception, at that wrong, right? And I'm not condoning or relieving people of the responsibilities that they have for themselves to not act that way, to not do that. But I'm saying that those experiences and these types of systems do not exist unless we play into them and give them power. That's a lot for someone. It's okay. Just breathe. Let it come up. Let it wash over you. Drink some water and try to, I'm already getting the visualization at the end that we'll do, but just try your best to just notice everything coming up for you and flaring up for you, because it is ready to leave, and just notice it. It's not you. Okay. This is how we're getting your power back. This is how we are freeing that energy so it's available for creative uses and not for holding these feelings and holding yourself essentially in these patterns, right? It's how we get our power back to use it for the creation, for the goodness, for the positive, And these identities are also collective identities. There's collective histories associated with them. I don't even need to name 1, 2, or 3, because it's across the board, across all of the collectives. I've seen it, to be quite honest with you. So okay. Let's just breathe. Big deep breath in and out. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Shake the hands. I feel like people ready to fight. That's okay. We're going to keep going. You're not trying to fight me. You're fighting the mirror I'm holding up for the energies ready to leave. Okay. Proud of you, fam. I love you. I'm holding you in love. So it's interesting because I am my most powerful when my creativity is given a voice, right? We're expanding your inner power through this process, through working up to this video today, and through giving yourself this time and sacred space to study, to receive messages, to do this energy work in real time, So I am my most powerful when my creativity is given a voice. And that's what this is about. When we are out of victim consciousness, all of that energy gets freed up from the emotional body, the mental body, the spiritual body, the physical body. And then we can use it to fucking create what needs to get created, to do and contribute to the world, right? We had that message at the end of class yesterday, or I keep saying class, so I guess this is part class. At the end of that service church class yesterday, it was it's literally these opportunities to contribute is what sharing our light and giving, it's that's how we get the energy back to do that, because it was already our own energy. It was just tied up in ways that we didn't see, and now we're ready to see it and be in our inner sovereignty, right? This is the path, a path I'm offering. Okay, take what's for you, leave what's not. So the reading for today, perfect, right? Letting go of anger. Okay, so let's read this together. All right, I'm on page 60. If you have the Language of Letting Go, Daily Meditations on Codependency by Melody Beatty. Okay, great book, definitely recommend it. In recovery, we often discuss anger objectively. Yes, we reason. It's an emotion we're all prone to experience. Yes, the goal in recovery is to be free of resentment and anger. Yes, it's okay to feel angry. We agree. Well, maybe. Anger is a powerful and sometimes frightening emotion. It's also a beneficial one if it's not allowed to harden into resentment or used as a battering ram to punish or abuse people. Anger is a warning signal. It points to problems. Sometimes it signals problems we need to solve. Sometimes it points to boundaries we need to set. Sometimes it's the final burst of energy before letting go or acceptance settles in. right? And that part resonated for this part of the message of the aspect that we're transmuting today of victim consciousness. And sometimes anger just is, right? That could be it too. It doesn't have to be justified. It usually can't be confined to a tidy package. And it need not cause us to stifle ourselves or our energy. We don't have to feel guilty whenever we experience anger. We don't have to feel guilty. Breathe deeply. We can shamelessly feel all of our feelings, including anger, and still take responsibility for our behaviors. So it ends with, I will feel and release any angry feelings I have today. I can do that appropriately and safely. Let's do it again. I will feel and release any angry feelings I have today. I can do that appropriately and safely. Yeah, beautiful, right? So I like that. I like that this is like a full picture of anger, you know, like we're going beyond like how it can bind us. We're also going into how anger can be, it's just like another indicator. It's more data. It can show where we need to set boundaries. It can show where there's a problem to solve, right? Which is why a lot of us, I keep seeing the collective anger, right, institutionally, like I like what's going on or different things that are happening, and it shows us that these things need to be solved. But it's important to understand how energy really works, so we don't bind ourselves to these very institutions that we are seeking to transform, destroy, and change, I guess, morph, evolve, you know, whatever appropriate word is for you. But it's like, or create new versions out of love, right? It really depends on where you are and what your understanding is and your worldview and how you're coming to these videos. So really, really just take what's for you and leave what's not. But it's like, that's an important piece about anger. And it's like any other feeling that we are experiencing, we are not that feeling. That is not our identity. It's not about shaming ourselves or feeling guilty for having these seemingly yucky feelings, right? It's about owning, being in our power, knowing this is a part of my gifts. I get to feel, and I can find healthy, safe ways to feel without harming others, so that the energy gets transmuted and returned to me for constructive uses, for my power, for my inner sovereignty, from my center. Yeah? And so, yeah, it really is beautiful, this reading. I'm going to go to the next one. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that wants to be pointed out. Yeah, it's just, it's really about the movement of the energy and really understanding how we're expanding our inner power, right? That you're most powerful, right? I am my most powerful when my creativity is given a voice, right? And so you need that energy in order to give that creativity a voice, to be functioning in a more peaceful way where you can create more, right? All right, let's see what's the next reading for today. Perfect. All right, we're on page 23 and Jesus Calling. Strive to trust me in more and more areas of your life. Anything that tends to make you anxious is a growth opportunity. Instead of running away from these challenges, embrace them, eager to gain all the blessings I have hidden in the difficulties. If you believe that I am sovereign over every aspect of your life, it is possible to trust me in all situations. Don't waste energy regretting the way things are or thinking about what might have been. Start at the present moment, accepting things exactly as they are, and search for my way in the midst of those circumstances. Trust is like a staff you can lean on as you journey uphill with me. If you are trusting in me consistently, the staff will bear as much of your weight as needed. Lean on, trust, and be confident in me with all your heart and mind. Oh, that's so beautiful. Like literally, it's really about trusting the divine, knowing that you're not doing this on your own, that you're not alone, okay? That you are being so supported, and that what's basically saying, like Jesus is saying, like even in this video, right? Like I'm getting like the anxiousness, the feelings, the receiving these downloads of intense high frequencies, of intense higher teachings, higher all of the things, right? Helping recalibrate to your inner sovereignty, that this takes such trust, it takes such faith, and it takes such bravery to want to own your power and to really be and anchor it in, you know, to your field, into your being. And you've always had it, right? And hearing these things. And so it's like, it's really like also bringing me back. I got to the first day of our work together, where we were like, you know, forgiveness is super important to move forward. Accepting what has happened and how it happened is super important, you know, because we cannot be changed. And moving forward into the present, accepting our circumstances, making the best of wherever it is we are, because that's going to help create the higher, that's going to help energetically create the higher version, higher organic timelines you wish to live on, where you want to be. That gap, right? We talked about that gap the past couple of days. I remember which day, in between like where you are and where you want to be, seemingly, right? And so that is a beautiful message, to trust, right? And to start where you are, and to not waste energy regretting any of these like things that we fell for, any of like this again, I'm going to just name it and say it, like this victim consciousness that we lived out, that we misidentified with, that we had whole identities created around. It served us. It was coping. It was the way we needed to get through. That's how we survived. And we no longer need to identify that way. We no longer need to believe or cope that way. We are ready for the higher truths. We are ready to own our inner sovereignty and be in that paradigm with the divine, knowing that God is real. And even if we're not all the way sure God is real, we know that we are ready to get to the point where we accept and know that God is real. And we're on that path to do that. Okay. Yeah. And also there's a message of giving things to God, giving things to Jesus. So 2022, it's like, you know, like giving things to, you know, where you don't understand, like God, like some of these teachings, I don't understand. How does this fit into my world? Give it to the divine. How, like, I give this to you to help me understand how I need to understand it for myself, you know? Give like these experiences. God, I don't understand how that tragic situation, where is the lesson there? Give it to God. Like, you don't have to do it on your own. You know, this anger, I don't know how to let it go. I've held on to it for so long. It's felt so good. Like, it's just like who I am every day. Give it to God. Help me to figure that out every day, right? Prayer is so powerful, and there's no right or wrong way to pray. It's just talking from an open, pure heart directly to the divine. Like, God, like, I don't know if you're there or not, but this is what I gotta say to you. You know, like, God doesn't get offended that we don't believe, or we forgot to believe. Like, that's not how that works, you know? Or we forgot the truth, we forgot to remember. Like, God is so aware of, like, all seeing, all knowing, you know? Jesus is not offended, you know? Like, it doesn't work like that in the higher realms. So, oh wow. All right, that's beautiful. That feels so complete. We're going to now go into our meditation. So I would like everyone to find themselves in a comfy seat, breathing all that in. Beautiful. Receiving what was for you, leaving what's not. Envisioning that golden orb all around your body, or in hologram, maybe filling your whole room. Breathing in the healing. In through the nose. All the way down to the root. And be open and to receive the healing energy and transmutation energy available to you now, as we're all in space together. Just going into silence, breathing in everything that's for you, all the healing, and breathing out everything that no longer serves. Feeling, sensing, knowing, going on the journey for you, and if nothing's happening, that's perfect too. All is well. I'm not trying to change anything, just being present, noticing. No acceptance, no rejection, just letting it all pass as it's being purified out of your field. Activating your own self-healing and gifts and connection to the divine. Grounding if you need to be grounding. Beautiful. Just knowing that your energies that are being transmuted are going to be returned back to you as appropriate, cleansed and renewed. Beautiful. As you continue breathing and receiving, I'm going to read the 23rd Psalm to close out today's session. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Sending any healing energies to any friends, family, institutions, systems, the world, as appropriate, in accordance with their free will. Thanking and giving so much appreciation for ourselves for continuing to show up and stick with it as is appropriate for our schedules. Offering any prayers from our hearts to the divine. Knowing every day we are upgrading and not the same as the day before. And that these lessons, they spiral up, so they may look like they're the same, but you're not the same, and this is not exactly the same. It's just the next level. Beautiful. One choice at a time, day by day. I hope you all have a beautiful day, night, whatever time you watch this. Thank you so much for showing up for you. Thank you for doing your work. I just feel so much love and appreciation, and I hope you can let that in for yourself, from the divine, from your guides, from me. Unconditional love. Calling all your energy back to you. Giving any energies that are not yours back up to the divine to be distributed accordingly. And yeah, separating out of this space. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Until tomorrow. Bye, family. I want to say bye, beloveds. Bye, beloved family. Until next video.